The munchies, where one develops a sudden and impactful craving for delicious, palatable sweets and junk food, especially after a cannabis-lit session. And more often than not, the munchies are unapologetically satisfied by a quick trip to the nearby 7-Eleven. With that in mind, the last thing you would think when smoking the J is that it will help you lose weight. After all, how can you eat all of this and expect to look like this? Interestingly enough, in 2011, researchers found something rather peculiar on this matter. Through surveying roughly 50,000 people, they found that the more frequently subjects reported smoking weed, the less likely they were to be obese. And this is after adjusting for other factors like age, sex, and other drug use, such as cigarettes. The most frequent users in this case, measured as 3 or more times per week, were about 40% less likely to be obese than those with no cannabis use in the past 12 months. That's quite a sticky, icky result. But considering weed's munchy effects, how is that possible? Well, there's a few hypotheses floating around possibly explaining the bong-induced effects in play, and they're based on how the constituents of MJ, known as endocannabinoids, interact with our bodies. Two of the major endocannabinoids that tree smokers know and love is tetrahydrocannabinol, aka THC, and cannabidiol, aka CBD. Of the two, THC is most responsible for the increased munchies we're familiar with. Even then, researchers in 2013 hypothesized that long-term use of THC might actually lead to the opposite effect. This is through their belief that repeated receptor stimulation from THC use can lead to a down-regulation or desensitization of its effects. Like caffeine, one might be able to build a tolerance to THC. Continued use leads to an oversaturation of THC. This prevents other stronger endocannabinoids our body makes, like 2-AG, from binding to CB1 receptors, which when stimulated, facilitates the release of appetite-inducing hormones. Thus, if any of this were to be true, more THC leads to less appetite and eventually suppressing appetite. CBD, unlike THC, has been discovered to outright antagonize both CB1 and CB2 receptors. It's not much of a surprise that it theoretically limits cravings and promotes weight loss. Also to point out, CB2 receptor stimulation have been shown to reduce appetite as well. And another lesser-known endocannabinoid, THCV, can also act as a CB1 receptor antagonist, possessing similar appetite-suppressing potential as CBD. You would think with all of these sciencey appetite reductions that it will be an open and shut case to tell everyone how great a little joint can help you with your waistline. But all of these findings only stand as hypotheticals for now. The thing is, the majority of these findings weren't in humans, but in rats. Unfortunately, human trials are few and far between due to marijuana's controversial legal nature. By the way, PictureFit does not condone the use of marijuana, and everything discussed in this video is strictly for educational purposes. If we were to see these mechanisms replicated in humans, then we might have a clearer answer. And with the acceptance of cannabis on the rise, that might not be too far down the line. But for now, if you were to ask if marijuana is a good weight loss tool, the only possible answer is maybe. Now, cannabis use does have some practical benefits. One is that if you consume alcohol mainly for its psychological effects, replacing it with marijuana can provide its own psychological effects but without the added calories. Also, if you find yourself being able to exercise more intensely or longer while high, then that can help you burn more calories. Just be cautious though, since THC can raise your pain tolerance, causing you to possibly ignore pain signals related to potential injury. So don't go too hard. But other than that, the answer is still maybe. In the future, that might change with new data, and if it does, you can be certain that there will be new PictureFit content all about it. For now, enjoy your blunts if you choose to, just don't think it will blunt the number on your scale. Let me know what you think about the marijuana weight loss magic in the comments below. Has it helped you with your weight loss goals, or even weight gain? If you enjoyed the video, please like it and share it with your chronic-loving friends. Subscribe for more future PictureFit videos. As always, thank you for watching and get your protein.